What sort of precedents would something like this set to have a tribunal, a Sharia tribunal, to go by Sharia law, which, you know, I look at the penalties in Sharia and see how, especially women, how they endure under Sharia law. This is quite harsh and totally at odds with the American judicial system.
Yeah, there's no doubt that, you know, and thank you for bringing light to this, because it's very important that, you know, we treat this with the antiseptic of sunlight. You know, the premise of it, as you mentioned, is very American, whether it's a Christian community that wants to settle its differences privately, or the Jewish community in which rabbis have Beit Din courts that allow them to do that. But those communities are postmodern. Those communities have gone through an Enlightenment revolution, separation of church and state, et cetera, that has basically, you know, that the premise is the values that the arbitrators or the rabbis or priests bring to that with the parties that they try to resolve conflicts are going to be based in American values. Islam has not gone through that time in history. We're still in the 17th, 18th century. If you talk to I would challenge anyone to talk to a Muslim woman that would rather go to a Sharia court than an American court. And you'll find that the reason most of our families are here is they were escaping these Sharia courts. And yet, because of political correctness, the media, our government, et cetera, are avoiding talking about this. And the reason they won't answer your questions when you go approach them is because that's what they're used to. They're used to being in societies like Saudi Arabia, Syria, or elsewhere, where if you question them, you end up getting put in jail for insulting Islam and get whipped by the government, like Raif Badawi and others who are trying to reform these issues in the Middle East.
Exactly. There's danger to the reformers in Islam as well. I want to get your reaction to this clip of the leader, this imam in North Texas, who is behind this effort in terms of these Islamic tribunals, these Sharia tribunals. Listen to this.
Maybe in their mind, a misconception about what they see through the media, that Sharia means cut the heads, chop the heads, and cut the hands, and whatever. We are not in that. We have no authority to force anybody or to make it binding upon if they don't like it, if they don't accept it. We are not here to invade White House, to invade Austin.
It makes me confused, Dr. Jasser, because how then do they plan to implement this?
Well, it's funny that I don't find it very funny, and he's laughing at it. But the interesting thing is, if you go to their website, or you go to even a bigger organization called the Assembly of Muslim Jurists of America, which has hundreds of imams on it that give religious legal opinions called fatwas on their website. And we exposed for years their fatwas said to Muslims, don't do the Pledge of Allegiance. It said, don't work for Pentagon because you can't translate for them because they're against Muslims.